Good afternoon, everybody. What I'm doing today is a bit different. Instead of reading a bad fic or reading in someone's voice, I'm going to be just reading it as I am, one of my friend's fan Danganronpa games. It's called Danganronpa Delightfully Delusional Despair. I stand by the title just being a tongue twister. Its first chapter was finished a couple of weeks ago. And one of the reasons I'm reading it, as me is, one minor reason is I don't want to seem like I'm making fun of it, because I'm not. I really like this. I think that, the character voice is, really strong, where I could have done better with mine. The other reason is the protagonist is a boy, and my voice isn't really built for boys. I can do, boys that are, more children, but really deep-voiced boys I can't do. I've rambled on for a little too long now. We've been live for a whole minute. So I'm going to pop out the chat and... Hello. We're going to start reading. If you're curious and want to read along, this time I've actually put the fic in the description, because this is honestly something that I am trying to advertise, sort of. This is like a giant advertisement. Oh god. What? Are they seriously flying planes in the airfields now? It's 4:30 and it's 4:30 in the afternoon. It's fuck. Seiki Orinaka goes undercover to the maximum security prison for unruly ultimates to investigate reports of prisoners going missing. What he discovers is worse than the Future Foundation could have ever begun to imagine. So, I think somewhat similar to mine, this is taking place on an alternate timeline to V3. I won't read her author's notes, but she did have an artist, working on her characters, and, she was commissioning them, but they disappeared and, apparently reappeared in Alaska, and yeah, their profile is, NSFW, so, if you're under 18, please don't click it. Chapter 1. Prologue. Introduction. Oh, wait. This isn't the first chapter, this is just the prologue. I'm sorry, that's my bad. Introduction to the Ultimate Prisoners. My name is Seigi Orinaka, although for the majority of my stay here, I'll be known as the biker gang member Shinji Kogami. You see, I'm an undercover officer, and I was sent to this massive fucking facility known as the Maximum Security Prison for unruly ultimates. Everyone just calls it the Ultimate Prison. It's full of ex-ultimates who are all serving sentences for various crimes, or people who are known as the Ultimate Criminals. For the most part, it's shit like murder. After the events involving God, I'm sorry, my Japanese is not the best. In fact, I can't speak it at all. After the events involving Kibo Gambine and Junko no Ishima's rise to power with her ultimate despair, the common folk ain't gonna want to take risks like that shit happening again. So, the Future Foundation paid and maintained the facility known as the Ultimate Prison. The headmaster of Kibo Gambine, Makoto Naegi, was against the idea, but the chairman of the Future Foundation, Kyusuke Munakata, still got approval for it. So that's where I come in. Kogami Shinji, please face the camera for your mugshot. Recently, we've gotten a shit ton of reports of prisoners going missing from the Ultimate Prison, so I got myself arrested and charged so I can get my ass over there. Right now I'm being processed, then I'll be shipped with any other recent Ultimate arrests to the prison. I sigh, running a hand through my messy blue hair, reaching a hand to scratch my stubbled jawline. My eyes meet the lens of the camera, and the flash of the photo being taken would blind me temporarily. I turn to the side for the second of my beauty shots. I was wearing my old biker jacket, torn up black jeans, and black leather boots with a number of studded straps on them. After being ushered into a room, I was given a plain grey uniform. After discarding my biker outfit, I emerged in a plain grey sweat top and sweatpants. These are going to be my clothes for the next 5 years? As if. I ain't staying that long. Just gotta see what the fuck's happening to the inmates. Another sigh escapes my lips as the smuggest looking god in history escorts me to the cell blocks. And every day we get a crazy diamond, especially one as revered as you, remarked the officer. Yeah, throw yourself a party then, eh? I snarked back. We'd walk past a number of cells, and my eyes scanned them over to see who was residing in them. A boy with red and black hair sleeping, a large ginger man doing push-ups, a smug-looking blonde man reading, a busty pink-haired girl doing, I wish I didn't see. Finally I'd reached my cell, for at least until the bus arrives to take us home. Across from me was a tall, darker-skinned boy with a red and blue mohawk who was waving at me enthusiastically. "Hi, so you knew, eh?" inquired the mohawked fellow. "Yeah, what of it?" "Well, just wondering is all." Curiosity killed the cat. I abruptly put an end to this exchange, rolling over to lay down and get some sleep. An hour would go by before the guards would stop rounding up the ultimates who had been arrested. I followed behind a rather cute-looking girl with bright blue hair and was in front of a chatty raven-haired boy who wouldn't stop talking about his goddamn mother. I sighed with relief when we finally reached the bus, taking my seat. A grunt escaped me as the cuffs were put on, and I shot a glare at the officer. "Oi, any way you can maybe not cut off the fucking circulation of my foot, jackass? Keep on talking, Kogami, and I'll cut this foot off." I muttered some obscenities under my breath before looking across the aisle. It was the damned Mohawk kid again. I turned to look out the window, waiting for this ride to be over. The bus would drive for hours alone on some dusty country road. A commotion at the front would cause me to stir, looking up to see what's happening when... crash. Something would hit the bus from the side and the world would go black. When I came to, I found myself in an unfamiliar room. I'd stand up, looking around with a lingering fear before inhaling a deep breath. Afterwards, I'd examine the room a little closer. It appeared to be a storage room with various clutter. Nothing important. I also appeared to be in my biker outfit, which raised its own concerns. A soft groaning would take my thoughts off of my clothes, looking over to the source of it. "Oi, is someone else in here?" I asked, before seeing the light blue-haired girl back at the holding cells. She was no longer in a prison uniform, wearing a paint splatter hoodie, leggings, shoes with a sort of space theme, and a face mask with a similar design. I'm here. Where are we?" The blue-haired girl would look around, a mix of fear and confusion in her eyes. Looks to be that we're in a storage room. We should look around. I'm Shinji Kogami, the ultimate biker. Don't worry, I ain't gonna pull anything. I'm Tsukio Aoiro, the ultimate graffiti artist. I know it's nothing special, but it's nice to meet you, Kogami-san. Graffiti artist? The hell are you doing in a prison? I get fines, but I'd rather not talk about it. It's probably for the best that I don't press. This room doesn't serve much. Let's see if I can get out of here. I walked over towards the door, swinging it open when a thud resounded from the other side. After opening it fully, I saw the mohawked boy holding his forehead. "Ow, ow, ow, ow! That hurt!" said the mohawked fellow, who was also in a new outfit. He was in a flannel hoodie that had a heavily decorated denim vest over it. He had complicated-looking jeans with straps hanging crisscross behind them. He wore a pair of flashy cowboy boots and a leather bracer that looked like a bunch of straps on his left arm. He would stand up. The heeled boots and mohawk made it seem like he towered over me. Name's Tsuchiro Himitsu. Everybody calls me the ultimate highwayman, so I guess I am. He extended a hand to shake, which I ignored. I never asked, but I'm Shinji Kogami, the ultimate biker. And I'm Tsukio Aoiro, graffiti artist. Huh. So Shin-chan and Su-chan. He'd grin. He had a small patch of hair on his chin, and his face was decorated with some freckles. The most glaring feature of his face was the glass eye. "So, Himitsu, do you have any idea where the fuck we are?" I started. "May as well get at my bearings best I can." "Nah, sorry, Shin-chan. I know as much as you do. Woke up in this workshop-looking place, decided to check out that door, when wham! You hit me in the face with the door." "Not my fault, dumbass. Come on. Aoiro and I are gonna look around. Want to be useful? Come with." I began to leave the room, Tsuchiro and Tsukio following behind. I left the workshop, entering a large hallway. There was a door right across from me, but it seemed to be taped off. Further down the hall would be what appeared to be a cafeteria or a dining hall, so I walked over and swung open the doors. The dining hall was huge. There were tons of tables all lined up, and a kitchen to the far side, separated by a low counter. The room was also far from empty. There were 3 other people here, not counting the trio who just entered. The first one to catch my eye was the mama's boy I saw back at the holding cells. He was currently dressed in a black hooded vest over a black and red striped shirt. He also had a pair of checkered pants and wore black combat boots with chains on them. The boy turned to me and grinned. It was prevalent he also had a white medical mask on, but it was pulled down over his chin to show his face. "Hiya, I'm Kantan, Mitsuhiro Kantan. I'm the leader of a huge anarchist party, and when I'm out, I'm probably going to assassinate the Prime Minister or some shit." Is this kid for real? There's no way. I'm gonna just ignore the tiny little terrorist and look at the... Oh god, it's her. The girl that was Fuck. Okay, get this image out of your mind, Seigi. There was a rather curvy pink-haired girl wearing an orange bowler hat with brown goggles around the band of them. She had a fiery tank top on that did a little to hide her assets. She also had orange short shorts on that didn't leave much to the imagination. Upon her turning around, it was clear she was wearing a gas mask of some kind. What the fuck? She had a fishnet glove on one arm and a bullet bracelet and snake bracelet on the other, and she had some kind of strange necklace on as well. She'd walk over, her odd-looking leather boots clicking on the ground as she approached, and she'd adjust the strange brown leather glove on her hand over the fishnet glove. Hanabi, Kaipan's name, arson's her game. Ain't fire cute? Kinda like you. The arsonist would wink, causing my face to redden. I shoot it off, looking at the lost person in the room who I pray wasn't weird. She was a girl dressed in a military uniform, camouflage fatigues, combat boots, and a red bandana tied around her head, covering her short brunette hair. She also had a pair of orange goggles hanging around her neck. She looked my way and offered a bow and greeting. Lieutenant Mairu Jukasai here. Or, well, ex-lieutenant, I suppose. Either way, I'm the ultimate sniper. She'd finished with a sheepish grin. And I'd nod back. I suppose it's nice to meet you three. Kaiban, Kanton, and Jukasai. I'm Shinji Kagami, ultimate biker. Hee hee. Hanabi says hi to Shinji-chan. It's nice to make your acquaintance, Kagami-san. Nice to meet you. Mai-chan, Mi-chan, and Ha-chan. Tsuchiro Himitsu here, the ultimate highwayman. And I'm Tsukio Aoiro, the ultimate graffiti artist. After the 6 all-exchange pleasantries, I cleared my throat. So, I think it's best we all figure out where the fuck we are. Lots of shit's going on. We're supposed to be in prison, but now we're somewhere we have no idea about. I think we should all split up and search around, I stated firmly. The others all nodded, and before long, I was back out in the hall, looking around. I'd go to one end of it, that seemed to split into 2 other hallways. One leads to a dead end, but had 2 bathrooms. Girls and guys, of course. I walked into the guys' bathroom, seeing your, well, average bathroom. Seems I wasn't the only one here, though. There I saw a very large man, and I mean large in every sense of the word. This man was hulking and had long ginger hair and a beard that was equally ginger. He was dressed in a black jacket over an orange flannel shirt and had baggy grey pants on. He also had a pair of hiking boots on with a flannel design on them, interestingly enough. He wore a pair of glasses and an Irish flat cap as well. Oh god, I'm gonna screw up this Irish accent, like, badly, even though, like, my family is half Irish. You were from the holding cells, Roy lad? Oi, I'm Suyoi Mokuzai, the ultimate lumberjack. I hope you put your sir into the... I hope you put your sir all in each day. Let's be lads, yeah? The large half-Irishman would extend a hand, and I shook it firmly. Shinji Kagami, biker, nice to meet you. Do you have any clue where the hell we are? Not a clue, unfortunately. 'Tis a real fucking pain. Well, I've got to take a shite. Hope you clap your run. Then he entered one of the stalls. I'd exited the bathrooms, going back the way I came to head to the other side of the hallway. It would branch off, one way leading to a large set of double doors, and the other way leading to a staircase. I turned towards the doors, walking that way first and pushing through the doors. On the other side of the door was a huge fenced courtyard. It was complete with basketball hoops and soccer nets on each side, a shit ton of workout equipment, and a bunch of sports equipment. Who the fuck is running a race, like, near my house? Sorry. It reminded me of a prison courtyard, oddly enough. I could see Tsuchiro and Tsukio talking with a short white-haired boy. The boy was in a fairly large hoodie that had a floral design on the sleeves. He was dressed in camo print cargo shorts and wore a pair of brightly colored blue and pink shoes. He also had a pair of fingerless white mittens with stars on the back. He'd wave at me excitedly, and that's when I saw the medical eye patch, bandages, and several bruises and cuts. Poor kid looks like he walked out of hell only to be kicked in the face by Satan. The boy would bound over and start to introduce himself. Hiya, I'm Itami Yawa... I'm sorry, I had this name down, like, a couple of days ago, and now I'm just like, this is another tongue twister. I'm Itami Yawarakai. I'm the ultimate pickpocket, but honestly, I don't mean to. This remark would catch me off guard, but I nodded anyway. Shinji Kagami, biker. I smiled a bit. Itami's eye would light up a bit, and he put his hands on his cheeks. Wow, you're all so cool. I wish I had a cool talent like you, Shinji-senpai. He'd giggle a bit. Hey, pickpocketing's gotta be useful, eh? Yeah, I guess so, Shinji-senpai. But Tsukio-senpai and Tsuchiro-senpai are so cool too. Oi, E-chan, want to hear another Want to hear another story? I'm so sorry, I'm like stumbling every 3 words now. Yes, Chihiro-senpai, I gotta go, Shinji-senpai. And he'd bound back over to Tsuchiru and Tsukio. I wanted to choose Tsuchiru out for slacking around, but hey, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I hummed softly as I walked back inside the main building, deciding to head up the stairs this time. Upstairs was another crossroad, and I took a left. I saw another set of bathrooms and decided not to bother with checking them out. I'd reach a hall with 4 doors, 2 on each side. Well, I went to the first one on the left first, opening it up. I entered a workout room. More workout equipment, specialized machines, and a woman working up a sweat. She was currently going to town on a punching bag. Her legs were a blur as she kicked with rapid succession. From behind, I could make out her robe, and on the back read Heart Eater. After a bit, the dark-skinned girl would turn around, her eyes falling on me. I could see she was in camo... sorry, I've got something in my mouth. I could see she was in camo print fighting shorts and a sports bra, putting her abs on display. She also had pink boxing gloves on, and her feet were wrapped up in black and green tape. She grinned. Her teeth looked razor sharp. Want to fight me? Come on, let's fight, please? The girl would beg, bouncing a bit in a fighter stance. I put my hands up defensively, and she took that as me accepting her challenge, and a foot would connect with my gut hard, knocking me down. Yay! I won again! But come on, you gotta put more into— What the fuck is wrong with you? I snapped, holding my stomach and slowly dragging myself to my feet. You don't just fucking kick a guy in the gut when you first fucking meet him? Ah, sorry. I thought you putting your hands up with a sign you wanted to fight. Well, guess what? It wasn't. Well, I'm now Kokuma Guy, Ultimate Kickboxer. I currently hold 3 different titles. The boxer would grin, putting her hands on her hips. I didn't ask. Shinji Kagami, biker. Please don't kick me again. Will do, Kagami-kun. She bowed before turning on her heel to resume the destruction of a punching bag. I just slumped out of the workout room and saw a girl exiting one of the rooms as well. The girl had purple hair tied in twin tails and would analyze me with her pink greenish-blue eyes. She was dressed in a grey t-shirt with a key design on it, under a black and white striped overshirt. She also wore a purple plaid skirt and knee-high black boots covered in moon and star designs. She futzed a bit with her hands, which bore pink and black striped fingerless gloves. Who are you? She immediately questioned, her eyes trained on me. I'm Shinji Kagami. I'm the ultimate biker. And you? I'm Nanonemu Batman. I'm sorry. I'm Nonemu Katkusu. Don't bother asking my talent. She'd say, punctuating her statement by turning and walking away. Well, that was fucking something. Best not to pursue her, there's no point. I walk over to the room she just left. It appeared to be a library of sorts, and there were 2 people reading on opposite sides of the library. There was a boy with red, black streaked hair. He had a red hoodie over a black shirt and black jeans, as well as red sneakers. I approached him, as he was the closest. What are you doing, reading at a time like this? We should be investigating where we are, I huffed. This was far from the best place for this. The boy would simply shrug, continuing his book. Are you even listening to me, kid? We've probably been kidnapped, and you're here reading a damn book. I let out a low growl, annoyed. Don't call me kid. I'm Aito Hasaki. I'm an architect, I guess. Aito would shrug, still reading, causing a sigh to escape me. Shinji Kagami, nice to meet you, Hasaki. Can you go now? Aito would say lowly, no longer interested in talking. I just shrugged it off, moving to the library's second inhabitant. The second one was a small girl with unkempt green hair under a binary code-designed toque. She had tired pink eyes under thick glasses. She wore an oversized hoodie of the same design as her toque and cyber-looking leggings. She had a pair of green cat ear headphones around her neck, her legs crossed on a table. She had cute little techno-looking slippers as well. I approached, only to be met with her open palm facing me. I'm not looking to talk right now. Go away, stunk the small girl. At least introduce yourself. I'm just trying to know everyone in this mess, I replied, earning a sigh from the reclusive girl. Chikiko Enomoto, ultimate hacker. I'm busy, so go away. She'd shoo me off, and I just rolled my eyes, going to comply. Makes sense the 2 antisocial kids would be here in the library. I almost don't want to meet the rest of the people here. I entered one of the rooms on the other side of the hall. It had appeared to be a games room of some kind. There was a pool table and a round table that looks like it could be used for several card games, as there was a few stacks of cards on said table. The most prominent part of the room, though, were the 2 people arguing. There was a slim blonde with There was a slim blonde male with crystal light blue eyes hidden behind a pair of framed glasses. He was dressed in a rather fancy-looking dress shirt under a cream-colored suit vest. He also wore black suit pants and dress shoes and was adjusting a grey bowler hat on his head. He seemed to be in an argument with a girl who had red hair that was under a cat ear knit toque. She was dressed in a rather big coat with pink fur lining. Underneath the coat, she wore a tank top with a skull design on it. She also wore black torn-up leggings and shoes covered in skull designs. Seems she had a motive here. The two were in a fairly heated argument. For the last time, I didn't take your watch, you stupid fucking lemon. I saw you take it, now give it back. Fucking make me, Blondie. The fuck's going on here? She stole my watch. He's an asshole, they yelled in unison. Oi, oi, both of you got at opposite sides of the room, I barked, old habit of my days as a cop. The two would begrudgingly comply. I went with the blonde, going to get his side of the story first. So what's the problem, I asked, tilting my head. She took my fucking watch. I watched her do it. To my watch. He crossed his arms. Okay, I'll go talk to her. I turned, but he stopped me. What, aren't you going to ask my name? He had a soft smirk. No, I retorted, shortly. Nusumu Kuruma, ultimate con artist. It's an honor to meet me. I know. God, how I wanted to punch him. Guy's a real piece of work, huh? The girl would cross her arms. She seemed to have a bandana covering her mouth and several intricate-looking rings on her hand. Yeah, he's a prick, but you still gotta give him back the watch. I quirked a brow slightly. She rolled her eyes and handed over a gold pocket watch. Fine. I took the watch, going to slide it along the floor to the smug blonde. The name's Shinji Kogami, biker. Kira Mujona, stick-up artist. Pleasure is mine. I don't have my gun, so I won't rob you, don't worry. She punctuated with a playful wink. Well, I've still got to search around. I'll see you around, Mujona. I waved goodbye, leaving the rec room. There seemed to be only one room left, so I opened up the door. It appeared to be a lounge of some kind. There was a TV with a DVD player set up, and about 12 shelves all lined with DVDs. There were also two very eccentric people looking here. The first was a mime? A mime with pink hair and yellow eyes who had a little teardrop design on their cheek. They were dressed in a pink crop top that had exposed shoulders, and underneath that, there appeared to be a pink corset. They had white short shorts and pink and white striped thigh-high socks under cotton candy pink platform shoes. They had a miniature pink top hat clip on their head as well. Another notable detail was I had no idea if they were a guy or a girl. God, I wish that were me. The mime would appear to be staring directly at me with their yellow eyes, just staring into my soul, prompting an awkward clearing of my throat. Bad vibes. Hey, do you got a name? I asked, breaking this awkward silence. Replied the mime. I'm Shinji Kogami. You are? The mime would just hum, staring me down. Do you ever fucking talk? Shisana Sairento, the flying mime. Tee-hee. Shisana would put her hand up to their mouth, tilting their head slightly. Finally, was that so hard? Okay, fuck this. I walked over to the second person using this room. There was a raven-haired girl in a black kimono that was covered in red flower designs. She would look at me, smiling a bit. Hello there. How are you today? The kimono girl would stand up, bowing a bit. Oh, I'm fine, I guess? Name's Shinji Kogami, I smiled. Finally, a normal fucking person. I'm a Kami Kamigise. I'm the ultimate cult leader. Perchance you would be considered for it? She said with a tilted head. Her eyes were dark red, and she had red lines going down over each eye. It was paint, right? Sorry, I ain't really interested in cults. So you're a brainwashed idiot who thinks all cults are bad. I didn't say that. Begone. He does not want to hear it. And she got back to kneeling, praying. Yeah, well, fuck you too, and just when I thought you were normal. I was about to leave when a monitor in the upper corner would flash on, showing a blurry image. Were those always there? Ahem. Attention ultimate prisoners. Please report to the courtyard for an important announcement, spoke a distorted voice. The fuck? I asked aloud. Akami and Shisana would exit, so I followed behind, stopping when I saw Tsuchiru and Tsukio. Hey Shin-chan, we met a bunch of the other people here. It looks like there's 16 of us. Kyo-chan and I came to find you, but it looks like there's some kind of fucking announcement we gotta worry about. Tsuchiru reported. Kyo-chan? What was wrong with Su-chan? I questioned with a cocked head. Oh, Mokusai-kun's first name is Suyoi, so that'd make two Su-chans. So he's calling me Kyo-chan and Mokusai-kun Yoi-chan. Tsukio explained, smiling a little bit under a mask. That's exactly right, Kyo-chan. Tsuchiyo would chuckle. Well, we ought to head over now, eh? We would walk back out to where we met Itami, stepping outside into the large courtyard. All 16 inmates were standing around, waiting for whoever called them out here. This is unnerving, muttered Naoko. He will keep us safe, assured Akami. If anything goes wrong, I'll keep us all safe, Suyoi promised. I can handle my own big eye, but thanks, assured Kira. Oh god, is the sun going down and it's like I'm gonna lose, like, light in, like, half an hour, but I don't want to get up because of, like, now I'm, like, using an actual microphone rather than, like, my headset. As the 15 all argued among each other, we'd hear a rather odd voice clear their throat. Their attention would be brought to an overturned box, and the strange sight would behold them. A white paw, and then a black one, and then he'd appear. As if this day of mine wasn't weird enough already, it'd only get weirder from here. A small black and white teddy bear with a malicious half-grin and a red lightning bolt eye. It would be sitting upon the box, and laugh its sinister yet comical laugh. Boop, 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 boop. Welcome, inmates, to the ultimate prison, the bear would announce. Oi, what the fuck are you on a beat? We were kidnapped, weren't we? Shouted Suyoi, unconvinced. Boop, 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 boop. That isn't important. You're all at the ultimate prison now, and I am your warden. This is a joke, right? I mean, I know government's full of idiots, but they wouldn't assign a toy to a position like this, would they? Mitsuhiro would ponder aloud. I'm not a toy. I'm your warden, Monokuma, Bear would shout, annoyed. You're a fucking bear, no doubt about it, I stated rather plainly, arms crossing over my chest. Yep, but not a toy. And I am your warden. Monokuma wasn't budging on this, it seemed. If you're the warden, then what happened on the bus ride? Nanami would question. Boop, 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 boop. Do you have nothing to say? Nanami would continue pressing. Boop, 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 boop. Ugh, you're useless. She'd give up. Now, how about we get on to the main event? This prologue is already going on for so long. Nobody cares about lame prologues. You're all here now to take part in a killing game. Remember those? It would click for me. That bear's design. The name Monokuma. Those were all lost in history, but did they really not remember him? That's impossible. Enoshima died almost 60 years ago, I interjected. Yeah, because... Sorry, I'm gonna point this out. Being dead certainly stopped her the first time. Boo. She isn't a part of She isn't a part of it this time around, buddy. Now, you should all know the rules. You gotta off one of your fellow inmates, and then you're home free. A bunch of killers like you should have no problem with that. If you all check your pockets, you'll find a little gift. I shoved a hand into my jacket pocket, finding a strange watch with an LCD display. I strapped it onto my wrist and tapped the screen. A holographic display of my name, my real name, popped up, and I quickly shielded it with my free hand. Oh, thank fuck everyone was distracted. I nearly got myself found out, and that'd be fucking terrible. Now I shall explain the wonderful functions of your brand new monowatch. First and foremost, you already all saw the impressive holographic display. That is how you'll access the features that are too hard to use on a shitty tiny screen. All the rules and regulations of the facility will be displayed there. They are, for the most part, common sense, you idiots. You will also notice an evidence section. This is for during investigations when one of you sickos decides to finally off one another. Finally, there is a lovely feature that allows you to message, talk to, and even video call your fellow inmates. Ain't it great? Finally, there is a note left for you in it that has the code to your rooms. Regarding the rules, if any happen to be broken, my own security team will be dispatched. 2 humanoid robots stood up from behind the box. One was all black with red outlines, and the other was all white with blue. Well, that's all, folks. And the bear would disappear behind the box along with the robots. I shook my head. This was way too much stress in a small amount of time. Fuck this. Fuck this. Let's just go check out my room. I need to sleep. God knows. Oi, Shin-chan, piss off. I'm going to bed. The sun was starting to set. I don't care if it was too early. I wasn't hungry enough for dinner. I was just tired. I stormed into the building, going down the one corridor that I never got a chance to explore. There were 2 lines of cells, 8 in each line. I would walk until I saw the one that displayed my pixelated head. I punched in the code and opened the door, slamming it shut. I took off my leather jacket, laying down on my bed in my t-shirt and jeans. My room, or, well, I guess cell, was nothing amazing. I had several changes of the same outfit, my prison jumpsuit, and swimwear. A dark blue pair of swim trunks. I guess I won't need to do laundry too often. I might as well check those fucking rules he talked about. Rule number 1. Inmates must live out their life in the ultimate prison. Any attempt to escape is prohibited. Rule number 2. Nighttime is from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Some areas of the prison will be off limits. Those current locations are the courtyard and the dining hall. Rule number 3. Exploration of the prison grounds is encouraged as long as it is within regulations. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Rule number 4. Violence against Warden Monokuma is forbidden, as is any destruction to cameras or other mono equipment. Rule number 5. Anyone who kills another inmate will become a blackened. Any single blackened can only kill a max of 2 other inmates. 6. Following a murder, a brief investigation period will commence. Following that will be a mandatory class trial. If the blackened is exposed, only they will be punished. If the blackened is not exposed, they will be released from prison and everyone else will be punished. Rule number 7. Monokuma will never directly interfere with your killing life sentence. Rule number 8. Removing your watch will trigger it to explode. Please do not attempt to break it either. Rule number 9. These rules can be changed and updated as the warden sees fit. After God knows how long, I finally found sleep. Or perhaps it found me? Who cares? Monokuma Theater. Did you know the United States of America currently has about 2.2 million people in prisons? That's 22% of the world's prison population. They also have the death penalty. There are so many interesting ways to execute someone. Trust me, I'd know. Did you know that Australia was originally a prison island? Crazy, right? An entire island being a prison. Now, did you know that Canada doesn't have prisons? Because it isn't a real country, of course. When's the last time you met a Canadian? Alright. Just checking, my Discord. Alright. I'm gonna quickly turn my light on so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. Alright. There we go. And we're basically back. I'm just gonna take a drink. How do I get this to, go away? Okay, who am I being messaged at? Oh, there we go. Okay. I've cleared everything up. Okay. Alright. Chapter 1. Inmates of Despair Row. Daily life. Shinji Kagami spends his first days at the ultimate prison, trying to get close with some of his fellow inmates. Sleep was something that I had not been expecting to get so easily, but alas, I did. I laid peacefully in my bed, and it felt odd that I was able to sleep so well in a situation like this one. Unfortunately, though, I was not going to be able to get to sleep in. The monitor in my room would come to life, and that bear would be on screen, holding a colorful mixed drink. Attention all inmates, this is an official announcement from your warden. Time to get up and serve your sentence, and remember, have a delightfully despair-inducing day. Yeah, fuck that, I'm going back to sleep. I laid back down, eyes closing as I tried to escape to a land of sleep once more before... Bam, 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 bam! Who the fuck? I grumbled, standing up and walking over to the door and opening it up. I was greeted by the large frame of Tsuyoi Mokuzai. Top of the morning, Shinji. Tsuyoi greeted brightly. Good morning, Mokuzai. Why the fuck did you wake me up? I greeted, less brightly. We decided that 'tis best for us all to ally together each morning. I'm sorry, this is very difficult to read. It's not my... I think that's an awful idea. I'd rather sleep, but knowing you, this isn't a request. Tsuyoi smirks, nodding before leaving the doorway, moving on to the next cell. I slumped out of my room, sluggishly making my way towards the cafeteria. I saw everyone seated at one of the large tables in the center, before going over to join them. After wiping the sleep from my tired eyes, I tried to tune into the conversation. So, do we got a game plan? Soichiro asked, leaning against the table. Burn into the ground, Hanabi suggested, loudly. Kaipen-san, no, Tsukio scolded. Hanabi, yes, Hanabi refuted. The structure of this building makes fire obsolete anyway, Aito pointed out. You're fun at parties, huh? Kira stated dryly. Did someone mention party politics? Mitsuhiro decided to join in. Ah, shut up. Mitsumu spat. No, you shut up, you copy-pasted four-eyed lemon, Mitsuhiro replied. That's a jealousy talking, Mitsumu claimed. Oh, will you two stop bickering? Chikiko muttered. Can we please stop fighting? Tsukio asked. Akami would mutter under her breath before walking off. If there's no point to being here, I'll be leaving. Nanmu stood up, walking off. I concur, Mairu nodded, standing up and leaving. Why y'all in? Tsuruyo stood up, looking upset as everyone began to leave after the disaster that was this first meeting. Somewhere that isn't so burnt out, Hanabi winked, standing up and walking off. It didn't take very long for everyone to disperse, leaving Tsuruyo, Tsuruyo, and myself alone in the dining hall. Tsuruyo would look at Tsuruyo with admiration in his eye. I'll eat with you, Yoi-chan. He grinned, and that seemed to cheer the lumberjack up. I looked at Tsuruyo, sighing before I stood up. I walked back to my room, stretching a bit before laying in my bed for a bit. I sighed, growing tired of just laying in my bed. There's a lot of daylight left, so perhaps it'd be a good idea to meet with some of the other inmates. I decided to go actually eat some breakfast, and I was quite surprised to see Chisana there. They seemed to be just eating by themselves, so I went and grabbed a tray of food and sat across from them. Chisana looked up at me with their always teasing yellow eyes. Do you want to spend time with Chisana? Maybe I should start a conversation? God knows Sirento ain't the most conversational. So, Sirento, tell me a bit about yourself. I started, hoping to have some sort of conversation with the mime. They just stared at me, a loose smile present on their face. Okie dokie. See you. They stared at me, a loose smile present on their face. Do you not want to talk? They nodded curtly. Are you mute? They shook their head. So you just choose not to? They nod. Zip because you're a mime? They grin and nod rapidly. Should have guessed, honestly. You know you're a weirdo, right? They nod, placing a hand over their mouth to hide a giggle. Well, asking questions seems to work. This one has been bothering me a bit. Are you a guy or a gal? They shrugged, tilting their head a bit. Oh god, that's a mood. Well, yeah, that's also a pretty valid answer. They nodded once more, smiling softly. Well, why were you arrested? They shrugged. Was it murder? They shrugged. Theft? They shrugged once more. I doubt it was a white-collar crime at any rate. Another shrug from the mime. Did you burn your circus down to some shit? Gosh, so persistent. Chisana finally spoke up. Hey, looks who's talking, I say with a grin. They stood up, giving a bow and a wink, before walking off. You grew a little closer to Chisana today. I returned to my room, Chisana not leaving my thoughts. What caused them to be so quiet? It can't be just because they're a mime. That's a stupid reason. But there's no point thinking about that. There's still some time left. Can't just sit around on my ass now, can I? I decided to go that a good jog around the prison's courtyard would be good for me, and on my way there I ran into Naoko, who seemed to be planning the same thing. Do you want to spend time with Naoko? Naoko and I ran some laps around the courtyard. Jesus Christ, how could she be so energetic? I mean, I'm a trained officer and I'm panting already, but she looks like she's hardly broken a sweat. Oi, Kumagai! I called out to her, taking a breather. Yes, Kagami-kun? Naoko replied, grin ever present on her face. How the fuck can you stay so energetic all the time? Well, I got to stay at 100% no matter what. You're shitting me. Nope. If I don't always give it my all, every second of every hour of every day, then I'll lose my space on top. That's ridiculous. If you take a break, you aren't suddenly gonna stop being a 3-time champion, Kumagai. People are always nipping at my ankles. If I relax, I'll give them an opening to take my spot. But if you burn yourself out, I won't! I won't burn out, I tell ya. You can't be sure about that. Yes, I can. Now, why are we wasting time talking? Let's fight! Nah. I don't really want any broken ribs today. Sorry, Kumagai. Fine, I'll go find someone who will then. Hello. See you, Kagami-kun. And she ran off, always so energetic. You grew a little closer to Naoko today. I returned to my dorm, Naoko not leaving my thoughts. I wish she would just slow down. She doesn't always have to be at her best, but there's nothing I can do. I slowly drifted to sleep, Naoko and her self-destructive mentality never leaving me. Before I really got deep into my sleep, I heard a beeping on my watch. A call? From Tsukio, no less. Thank God I figured out how to change my display name on here, or else I've been found out right away. Something tells me that, like, Mitsuhiro just changed his, display name to fuck the government. Or else I would have been found out right away. I answered the call. Tsukio's face filling my screen. Her eyes were bleary, and her hair was a mess. She also didn't have a mask on, showing off her cute features. I didn't wake you, did I? She asked, her voice mouse-like. Nah, was about to. No worries. What's up? I asked, sleep still heavy in my voice. I can't sleep. Do you think you could take a walk with me? I don't want to go out by myself. She looked down, blushing a bit. That drew a slight chuckle from me. Sure, I'll meet you outside your room. I'd end the call shortly after, going to get out of bed. I slipped on my jacket and brushed my hair a bit. I stepped out of my dorm, looking at the time. 11:43 p.m. It was late. I made my way to Tsukio's room, just in time to see her step out. She was in her leggings but no hoodie. Instead, she wore a pink tank top. She looked like she was cold, but she didn't say anything. We'd walk for a bit, making small talk. I noticed her shivering and sighed. Are you cold? I asked, which caused her to shake her head no. Regardless, I took my jacket off and draped it over her shoulders. She lightly hugged it, pulling it on. Thank you, she said, softly, looking up at me. I think you're a lot nicer than what you let on. I blushed, rubbing the back of my neck. Nah, I'm an asshole. That's not true. I think you try to be one, but secretly, you're very nice. She grinned at me, a smile that could save a life. Nah, I think you're trying too hard to see the good in me, I chuckled softly. Not hard to see it, she said. She smiled and took a seat against one of the walls. I sat beside her. You remind me of my big brother, she said softly. He tried hard to be a jerk so people wouldn't get too attached. Is that the same case for you? I stayed silent for a bit, before nodding. My life is dangerous. I could die any day, so I don't want people to be hurt by that. She'd take my hand, squeezing tightly. You don't have to, she'd say softly. I feel a weight on my shoulder. She was leaning on me. I nodded, rubbing the back of her hand with my thumb. After a bit, she'd fallen asleep. I'd scoop her up and carry her to her room. The door was unlocked, luckily. I put her in her bed, letting her keep the jacket. I left, locking the door behind me before returning to mine, and thus returning to sleep. Monokuba Theater. Don't you just absolutely hate it when you crack open an amazing book, and then all of a sudden someone you really like dies? You're starting to get immersed, the characters are all getting into place, romance is blooming, and then out of nowhere, bam! It's so upsetting, almost ruined the whole book for me. I was just about to finish the chapter too, but no. I had to be interrupted by a phone call telling me my uncle passed away. Now I'll never be able to focus on my book. Attention all inmates, this is an announcement from your warden. Time to get up and serve your sentence. And remember, have a delightfully despair-inducing day. Once again I was awoken by that horribly cheerful voice. God, was that going to wake me up every morning? I groaned, slowly rolling out of bed. The fact that there are no showers in our room kind of blows, but whatever. I grabbed a change of jeans and another shirt, then made my way to the bathroom. I see Tsuchiya leading the bathroom, dressed now, with a towel over his shoulder and his hair down. It was matted to his head, over to one side. He gave a wide smile in greeting. Hey Shin-chan, going for a morning shower too, eh? Tsuchiya asked, still smiling. Yeah, I feel like shit that just got run over by a bus, I replied. Well, we should meet up in the dining room for breakfast, especially since I have the suspicion you haven't eaten in a bit, Tsuchiya pointed out. Before I could protest, my stomach did the talking for me, growling loudly. I nodded. Sure, sounds good. I walked into the shower, shedding my heavy clothing and going to stand right under the hot water. My hair matted to my head and face, and I felt at peace. A lot had happened these past few days, but Munakata-san was right. Something was... Sorry, where the hell was I? But Munakata-san was right. Something was very wrong about all of this. No, can't worry about that shit. I just gotta end this. I turned off the shower, drying myself before I got dressed again. After dropping off my towel and toiletries, I finally made my way down to the cafeteria. It seems everyone was there already. I took a seat next to Tsukio and Itami. Tsukio was still wearing my jacket, which earned me a glanced smirk from Suchiro. He gave me a glance to remind me to eat, so I grabbed some rice and fish before tuning into the conversation. Well, what are we all going to do? Suchiro asked, looking at everyone. Well, what can we do? Nanamu questioned. We can fight! Naoko chimed in. We have an unacceptable disadvantage. Myra shut it down, shaking her head. I think what we need to do is escape, Mitsuhiro chimed happily. I agree with Michan. Escaping this place is the best possible option. Suchiro agreed with the boy. Yeah, Suchiro-senpai and Mitsuhiro-senpai are right, Itami chimed in. I examined the entire facility. Escape, as of right now, seems entirely impossible, Aito added. I'd probably agree with him. He is the ultimate architect, Nusumu hummed. Who cares what we do? This is our punishment for being so terrible, Chikiko pouted. What do you mean? Kami questioned. Well, aren't we all criminals? We deserve this, she said, looking at all of us with an icy stare. That kind of attitude doesn't help anyone, I cut in, looking at her. Well, it's true. Chikiko shrugged before standing up to leave. Enjoy breakfast. I shook my head, sighing. Tsukio stood up to walk after her. I'm gonna check on her. Tsukio smiled, waving goodbye. We'd sit around in rather awkward silence, clearly thinking hard of what Chikiko had said. We'd all dispersed after a while, going our separate ways. I went to my room to ponder what had happened for a bit. Well, I can't just sit on my ass. May as well do something. I stood up and began to roam around. I found myself in the gym, half expecting to see Naoko, but I saw Mitsuhiro throwing pretty well-aimed punches at the punching bag. I walked over, smirking. I never really saw Mitsuhiro as the fighting type. Oi, Konton, I called out. Oh, hey, Shinji-chan. Want to join me for a quick spar? Sounds good. Won't go easy on you. I spent about 10 minutes getting my ass kicked by a kid half my size. Jesus Christ, who the hell taught you how to box? I groaned, pulling myself off of the floor. My mama. She's like a huge famous boxer. She's so damn cool. Mitsuhiro enthused. Really? What's her name? I'd ask. Well, obviously I can't tell you. If I did, then you know too much about me. Silly Shinji-chan, he teased. Well, it is fair, I guess. Of course, I can't, go out and let everyone know who I am, of course. Despite the mask, I could tell he was smirking. Really? Well, since we are both in prison, then it should be fine if you tell me then, right? Well, I can tell you a teensy itty bitty bit, Shinji-chan. Only because I like you. Yeah, whatever. My gang is known as the Cranes of the Mountain. Heard of them? No shit. Your terrorist attacks are known all over Japan. Some even called you just as bad as the remnants of despair, blah blah blah. Our cause is just. You're terrorists. Since when does a biker have moral high ground? I never said I did. I just don't see how burning buildings and hell, even assassinations are just. Well, you have to do what you have to do. The world isn't really fair. And on that dark note, Mitsuhiro walked off. I returned to my room shortly after, going to just lay in my bed and think about all that happened. Mitsuhiro isn't someone I should piss off. I can't just sit around, though. Still some daylight left. I got up and left my room, seeing Myru leaving hers as well. Hey, Jukasai, I greeted, walking over. Hey, Kagami-kun. See you weren't off. That's good, Myru replied. Would you like to spend some time with Myru? Myru and I made our way to the courtyard, per my suggestion. So, I was thinking we could do some training together. I started, but she cut me off. You want to work out, huh? All right, soldier. Drop and give me 50, Myru barked. What? I started once more. You heard me. Down and give me 50 push-ups, and I mean real ones, she shouted at me. I got down and immediately did the push-ups she told me to, and she continued to tirade behind me. Come on, Kogami, you can do better than that, she yelled to me. Deave her! Come on, get those muscles forming, Kogami. Aren't you a big and tough biker? Well, prove it to me. She was enjoying this a lot. Jukasai, can you chill? I asked, looking up as I did my push-ups. How about maybe you chill, Kogami, and do the damn push-ups, she scolded. I finally finished my push-ups, standing up and turning to her with a scowl on my face. What the fuck was that, Jukasai? I huffed out at her. It worked, didn't it? She smirked. What? I just said it worked. You did the push-ups. So you did that just to make me work out? You know that was completely unnecessary, right? But it was fun. Fuck off. Well, be as pissy as you want, but I see potential in you, Kagami-kun. And with that, Myra would wink and walk off, leaving me with that vague as fuck statement. What the fuck was that supposed to mean? You grew a little closer to Myra today. I should probably start showering before I go to bed. I don't want to have to get up every morning, and besides, that's when all the others will get up to shower too. After picking up a towel, I'd make my way to the shower. I walked in, and inside I saw the other two people in there. At one end was a rather tall and handsome Nusumu Karuma. His back was to me, and his golden blonde hair was matted to him. Water sprinkled down those locks. He turned his head to look at me. His glasses were off, as were most of his clothes. He still wears his bowler hat in the shower. It never comes off. Itami Yawarakai was still also in there, currently covered in soap. He was giggling a bit, looking at me from a face hole in his impromptu bubble suit. Hiya, Shinji-senpai. Yes, hello, Kagami-kun. Here to avoid the morning crowds, too? Nisumu purred, going back to focusing on his shower. I stripped off my clothes, standing under the warm water. It was refreshing. I felt my tight knuckles loosen. Okay, I'm going off of it. I remember when my friend who wrote this, she typoed one of the worst things. Instead of I stripped off my clothes, it was he stripped off my clothes, implying that Nusumu just, walked over and started undressing Shinji. Yep, I responded rather plainly. I didn't see much of a point of talking too much. Nusumu and Itami, having came before me, also finished first. They both got dressed and left, leaving me to my thoughts. Before Nusumu left, he smirked at me. Not bad at all. He chuckled. If you're talking about my dick, I'm gonna break your nose. I huffed. I was talking about your back muscles. You do a lot of lifting? He rolled his eyes. I didn't reply, just letting him flirt before he walked off. I sighed, finished my shower, and then got dressed in my sleepwear. It wasn't much. Black t-shirt and boxers. I saw Hanabi walking to her room. I saw Myro and Naoko doing their evening routines, then saw myself to my room. I laid down, contemplating my day. This is the second day in this prison. I thought about getting my jacket from Tsukio, but she seemed to like it. Attention all inmates. It is now 10 p.m., therefore it is nighttime. Certain rooms will be off limits at this time. Sweet dreams. Monokuma sounded on all the monitors. It was unnerving as hell. I guess usually I just fell asleep before I heard this nighttime announcement, huh? Alas, I did still fall asleep that night. Do you ever get this feeling of deja vu? That feeling you've been here before? Do you ever just think, I've been here before. This thing happened before. It must have. I do too, because this is at least the 300th time I've done this stupid segment. Say, do you ever get that feeling of deja vu? Attention all inmates, this is an official announcement from your warden. Time to get up and serve your sentence. And remember, have a delightfully despair-inducing day. I groaned as the announcement woke me up again. At first, I laid still in my bed for another 15 minutes before finally dragging myself to my feet. I threw on a pair of jeans and brushed my hair with my hand before standing up and leaving my room. I made the daily trudge to the dining hall. I was a little late, and the scene that I saw when I arrived informed me that something had happened. It's not like them to be late. They're usually always here. Suyori stressed, looking concerned. Relax, Sui-chan. It's not like anything happened, right? I mean, they're all pretty tough cookies. Suchiro tried to calm him down. No, I agree. It is odd that the people who are usually here within a minute or two of the announcement are now later than Kagami-kun. Not a mood gesture to me. Boy, fuck off. I'm not a morning person. I sat down. So what's going on? Itami, Tsukio, Aito, and Chikiko are all absent. We sent Musumu out to collect them. Suya explained, worry clear on his face. Found at least one of the four. Nusumu's voice resounded from behind. He had Itami in tow, who was wiping his dreary tears. Sorry, everyone. I stayed up a lot last night, so I slept in. Itami bowed his head. But I haven't seen the others. Well, where could they be? They know we're supposed to meet here for breakfast, right? Akami pointed out. Hello. Well, do you perchance think something happened? Given our circumstances, of course. Nusumu stayed with a raised brow. No. To be sure not. None of us would resort to that. Tsuyu yelled. Many of us had, Big Eye. Sort of why we're here, Kira corrected. Chisana nodded in agreement. It is entirely possible that one of us went and off to one of the others. Myru chimed in, leaning back. Sorry, I've been, like, a little busy. Who the fuck is talking outside? Whatever. It's entirely possible that one of us went off to one of the others. Myru chimed in, leaning back. It's an ugly truth. Well, whatever would we do without our dear friends? Monokuma asked. Myru screamed and fell back. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? The bear tilted his head. It's time for your motives. Oh, but first, we need to get everyone here. Monokuma giggled. Tsuyoi stood up. Suchu, Nisumu, can you come with me too, Root? I'd like some able-bodied lads to help me if, it all goes to shite. He smiled. Suchu and Nisumu stood up, following the large man. Nako jumped up. I need to pee, she announced, running off. I sighed, laying my head in my palms. This wasn't a good situation. Though I didn't have a lot of time to my thoughts. A blood-curdling scream was heard from down the hall, and I immediately jumped up and began sprinting to the source of it. I was followed by Myru and Kira, and I saw Tsuchiru and Tsuyoi double back, followed by Nisumu. We saw Naoko doubled over outside the bathroom, her hands shaking. I walked over to her, and she just pointed at the inside of the bathroom. Kira walked in and froze, her eyes going wide as she stepped back a few times. I peered over her shoulder, and I wish I hadn't. I saw the sight of a dear friend, Tsukio Aoiro, hanging in the bathroom. And there's our first body! Well, currently this is the only victim because this is only up to chapter 1. Like, chapter 1 is finished, but this is chapter 1. Yeah, chapter 1. Inmates of Despero. Deadly Life. Summary. Tsukio Aoiro is dead. One of us here killed her. In this dance of death with despair, I must discover the truth, or we'll all be joining Tsukio in death. Tsukio Aoiro was dead, hanging there before us, limp in the bathroom, hanging against the side of a bathroom stall. I wanted to pinch myself, confirm that it was fake, but then that dreaded chime, one I pray I'll never hear again, despite knowing full well it'll be in my nightmares for the coming weeks. Ding, 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 ding. I can't do it very well, sorry. The monitor in the hallway, and the one in the bathroom, as well as the dozens throughout the prison would flash to the monochromatic menace, making us do this shit. A body has been discovered, the wretched plush spoke. A brief investigation period will begin. Then following that will be a class trial. Good luck! The monitor went black, and the fears that I held in my heart came true. The rest of the group would all make their way over, confirming the sight. Only 2 remained unaccounted for, Aito Hatasaki and Chikiko Inamoto. The aforementioned monochromatic monster would make his appearance, seeming disappointed. Man, all those motives I prepared for today are all down the shitter now. Good job, guys. I put so much work into this, too. You damn jerks have no value for hard work. Why, back in my day, we had to use actual high schoolers, not just any bloke who got arrested. He'd wave his paw dismissively. Well, all your mono watchers have been updated with the first Monokuma file. Nine is just the most generous bear you've ever met. Monokuma chuckled a bit. If you were really generous, you'd tell us who did it. Nisumu rolled his eyes. Yeah, get your own lines. See ya, suckers. And he absconded, leaving only us. Most of the others went back to the dining hall, though Nisumu said he was going to find the 2 unaccounted for, and Nonomu said she had a hunch to investigate. Thus only I, Tsuchiru, and Kira remained. The context for the get your own lines line is, I'm talking about my own here. I think she was referencing, like, my fanfic. And, like, I think that's what one of my characters said. I don't remember, though. I could be entirely wrong. It could have been, like, something canon. Investigation, start. The best course of action would be to check out this file. I tapped the watch, scrolling through all the selections on the holographics display, and selected the Monokuma file. The victim was Tsukio Aoiro. The time of death was around 6:30 a.m. The body was found in the women's bathroom. Cause of death was suffocation due to strangulation. There is no notable damage to the body besides that. Truth bullet, Monokuma file. I sighed, looking to Tsuchiru. He was looking around, a curious expression on his face. I'd approach, hands on either side of me. Is something up, Himitsu? I asked, crossing my arms over my chest. Huh? Oh, hey, Shin-chan. The taller male waved at me. Yeah. Isn't this place rather clean? What do you mean? I mean, normally if someone ends up strangled, there would be some sort of, fight or some shit. This room looks untouched. Yeah, I guess you're right. I ran a hand through my hair, biting my lip. That wasn't the only thing odd about it, though. Oi. Well, while I'm at it, do you have an alibi, Himitsu? I looked at him. He shook his head. Nah, do you? I shook my head, going to look up at the body. She was up against the bathroom stall. The rope seemed to be supported by the stall. I checked inside and saw that it was tied around the toilet. I looked to the two others. I'm going to, untie her so I can investigate further. I let them know before doing so. I lowered her body slowly, taking the rope off of her neck and placing it neatly on the floor. I knelt down to examine her body. Her neck was badly bruised, and there seemed to be deep scratches around her neck. After examining her fingernails and finding blood and skin, I confirmed that those scratches were likely self-inflicted, likely from struggling to remove the rope around her neck. I stood up, going to pick up the rope. Kira seemed to be interested in it as well. Why would it be tied around the toilet? She asked, tilting her head. I shrugged. That is a good question. Hopefully we'll find an answer for it later. Say, where were you early this morning? I questioned her. What? Do you think I did this? She seemed upset at my line of questioning. No, I'm collecting alibis. I crossed my arms. Well, I was trying to sleep, but some prick kept ringing my doorbell. I seriously couldn't sleep at all. But I was too comfy to go answer the door. She shrugged. It's weird, but it's true. Alright, I went back to examining the rope I held in my grasp, going through it. Huh. There seems to be points on the rope that suggest strain. It seems to have started to fray in a few spots. Something is off here. I put the rope down, standing up and rubbing the bridge of my nose. I should probably check up on everyone in the dining hall. I need to get alibis from everyone, as well as figure out where to investigate next. With these thoughts in my head, I returned to the dining hall. Sorry. The bulk of the people were here, a bit annoying. How come nobody else was fucking investigating? I walked over to Mayuru and Naoko, looking at the two of them. Oi, do either of you have alibis for early this morning? I questioned the two girls. Yes, actually. From 5 a.m. to 5:30 a.m., I was training by myself in the courtyard, my morning routine. At around 5:30, Kumagai-san showed up. Naoko nodded with a wide grin. We sparred. It was a lot of fun. Naoko punched her fists together. Suyo would look up at us, clearing his throat. Though it does plan to target on me back, I can cooperate. These two birds would indeed spar and well into the morning. I cocked a brow at his input. Huh. Well, you telling me this makes me suspect you a touch less, I smirked. Though, don't think I'm not as curious as to why you were roaming around that early. Were you with anyone else? Nah, I was on me lonesome. Suspicious eye, but, it was just clearing my noggin. I crossed my arms, bringing a hand to my chin. Suyo would be capable of killing Tsukio easily, but would he do so? He seems so heartwarming. Many other people don't have alibis, too. And Suyo isn't an idiot. He wouldn't have revealed himself to have been outside. Can anyone corroborate his story? Maybe he's trying to think... Maybe he's trying to make me think that he wouldn't reveal himself, and... Shinji! An accented voice pulled me out of my head. Huh? You alright, lad? You zoned out just now. Suyo looked a bit more concerned. No, I'm good. I'm gonna ask around a bit more. I would walk off, rubbing the back of my neck. I would approach Chisana and Akami next, looking down at these two weirdos. Akami appeared to be meditating, and Chisana was copying her. I cleared my throat. Sarento, Kamigise, I need to ask you two some questions. The mime and cultist both stood up, both seeming annoyed, though Chisana still seemed to be emulating Akami. What is it? Akami asked, tilting her head, which Chisana copied. Where were you two early this morning? Around the time of death for Awiro, I questioned. I was praying to him, as always. He demands a proper prayer schedule. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering like a broken record. I'm sorry. Akami bowed to me before walking off. I turned my attention to the shitty clown next, sighing softly. And what about you? I asked. What about me? they replied. Oh, fuck off, you know what I mean. Stop being such a prick, Shisana. Oh, do I now? Shisana grinned ear to ear. Where the fuck were you this morning? I snapped, gaining the attention of the others. Now, there's hardly any reason to yell. You could have just asked. It took all of my strength not to just strangle them. I was applying my makeup and doing my morning stretches. I'm quite nimble. Perchance you'd. They put their finger to their chin. Like to watch? Am I being seduced by a clown? I'll pass. I could feel the heat rising to my face. Oh, but I performed so much better with an audience. Chisana punctuated their statement with a wink before turning and walking off. I walked over to Hanabi, who seemed to be in a shaken state. She was hugging herself, sniffling. I placed a hand on her shoulder. Oi, Kaibun, you doing alright? She nodded softly. Yeah, Hanabi just misses Tsukio-chan. Everyone else seems so calm. She wiped her eyes before jumping up. So Hanabi will do her best to be calm too. She looked a bit more determined now. Alright, that is good. Do you have an alibi for this morning? I tilted my head. Well, Hanabi was sitting in bed, shorts down, rubbing out... Alright, I get the picture. So, no alibi then. I sighed. Oh, Hanabi was really loud, so her neighbors must have heard her. The rooms are soundproof. Thank fucking God. She sighs. Alright. Oh, also, Hanabi thinks she knows where the rope used to kill Tsukio-chan are from. I cocked a bow. Really now? Where? Hanabi was looking for matches and she saw this rope in the storage room. She seemed pleased with herself. Really? Thanks for the tip. I'll have to check it out. Truth bullet. Hanabi's testimony. Yeah, there's been truth bullets like the whole thing, and I've just now decided to read one out because I'm a fucking idiot. Thanks to Hanabi's testimony, I now had somewhere else to check. I walked down the halls leading to the storage room, pushing past the heavy doors. I found myself in the cluttered room, shelves stocked with all kinds of items lined the rooms, and rummaging through some scrap metal was Mitsuhiro. I had approached him, suspicion getting the best of me. And just what do you think you're doing? I asked. He jumped, turning around. Nothing. Piss off. Mitsuhiro crossed his arms, pouting a bit. Our hero is dead. We've got to find her killer. What the hell are you doing here? I questioned again. Harsher. Oh, sorry, I was playing with a bottle of, I'm so sorry, I was playing with a bottle of, deodorant, and I just dropped it. Like a fucking idiot. Don't worry about it, okay? He seemed a bit panicked. Can you at least tell me where you were this morning? Oh, that is so easy. I was chilling in my dorm, but I left at about 4 to pee, then came back. I went to play a prank on Kira-chan. Rung her doorbell for an hour or two straight, but she didn't even answer. I think she's a heavy sleeper, he smirked. Huh, you sound like a prick. I shrugged, going to search the storage room. I found a shelf stocked with miscellaneous stuff, including a bunch of matchboxes. After a bit more searching, ending up at the very back of the storage room, I found a line of hooks. All but one of them had a... Sorry, I yawned. All but one of them had a bundle of rope on them. There definitely is something odd about that. It's safe to say that this is where the rope is from. Truth bullet. Missing rope from storage room. Yeah, I'm not deciding. It's difficult for me to decide whether I'm going to read the truth bullets out or not. I think I'm just going to not read them anymore. I decided to take a walk around the storage room, seeing what else was there. Maybe I'd find a pack of cigarettes, too. No luck. I muttered to myself after doing a full mental inventory of the storage room. It wouldn't kill him to have a pack for me, huh? I grumbled before someone popped up beside me. The protagonist is, Shinji Kagami. And, like, he's also the point of view character. I don't have an image of him, like, on hand. Unfortunately. If you need something, you could have just asked. The squeaky bear's voice rang out beside me. Oh, wait, piss off. I spat at the bear. Monokuma lifted up a pack of cigarettes, doing a signature laugh. But I got you a present. Since you're doing so much work, I decided to reward you. Just let me know when they run out, and I'll get you another pack. Okay? I huffed. Gotcha. I took the pack, opening it and slipping a cigarette between my teeth. I grabbed a book of matches as well, pocketing that, but not before using a match to light my newly acquired cancer sticks. I took in a sharp inhale, blowing a ring of smoke. That's more like it. I had one more place in mind to check out. Even though I'm convinced it wasn't a suicide, if I found a note in her room, then I'd be convinced. But if I don't find anything, then I can pursue this theory without relent. I'd reached Tsukio's cell. stopping in front of her door. Tears stung my eyes for a bit, and I wiped them away. I can't let my emotions cloud my judgment right now, but I promise you, I'll find who did this. I won't rest until I find out, Airo-chan. I opened the door and stepped inside, looking up to see that I wasn't the first one with this idea. Inside stood Nonomu Kakusu and Itami Yawarakai. I would approach the two, hands in my jean pockets and my head cocked slightly to the side. Oi, Yawarakai, Kakusu, what's up? Nonomu looked up, shaking her head. Not much. I'm searching for anything here that could be a sign that she did take her own life. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything, Itami sighed sadly. It means someone did kill her, huh? I wouldn't say so yet. There's still a lot we don't know. Kakusu, I guess this means you haven't found anything? I asked. No, nothing. Her room is spotless, nothing out of place, and also nothing suggesting suicide. Nonomu confirmed my suspicions. I was now certain that this is a murder. Now all I had to do was find out who did it and prove it at the trial. But first. Yawarakai, you know where Kuruma sauntered off to? I need to talk to him and also find Hatasaki and Enomoto. Huh? Oh, I saw him go to the library. Maybe you can check there? Itami gave a soft giggle that could probably cure cancer. Before I left the room, I noticed my jacket hanging on the door. The talk we had a night ago stung my heart. I took the jacket, sliding it on, stepping it, and flicking my cigarette onto the ground, stomping on the butt. I produced another one, lighting it and taking a sharp inhale. Then I walked towards the library. I pushed the doors open, spotting the tall, suave blonde, as well as Aito and Chikiko, the two loners, yet always together. Nisumu looked at me and walked over. Hello, Kagami-san. Welcome back. Have you discovered anything? He crossed his arms, a perpetual smirk on his face, as always. Yeah, plenty. So where were these two? I asked. According to them, here. He shrugged. I'd asked them myself, he replied. Okay, and where were you at the time of the murder? That wiped the smirk off his face. You aren't implying that I had something to do with this? He put a hand to his chest. No, I've been gathering alibis all day, I explained. Well, it pains me to admit that I do not have an alibi at all. So sorry to disappoint. How could he be so smug while being interrogated about a murder? I nodded. That's alright, I don't expect everyone to. And I'm gonna ask the two most social, antisocial kids I ever met. I scoffed a bit, walking to Aito and Chikiko. Go away, Chikiko said immediately, and I sighed heavily. Enomoto, I need to go away. She cut me off. Maybe you should hear him out? I know that losing Ariro-san was hard, Aito began. You don't understand, Hasaki-kun. She was pure. Chikiko sounded like she had tears coming. If you want to know where we were both here since 4 a.m. Neither of us could sleep, so we both came to the library. We've been here together since. Aito explained to me. Alright. Thanks, Hatasaki. Where should I go next? This thought was interrupted by the monitors whirring to life. Attention all inmates. Your investigation period is up. Please come to the courtyard for further instruction. I groaned as the bear announced our investigation being done. I guess I got everything I needed. But there is still some mystery I suppose I can only clear during the trial you mentioned. Sorry, I'm yawning like the fuck. I'm yawning all over the place today. I went into the courtyard at about the same time as Nisumu, Chikiko, and Aito. It was a panic. I can't believe Kyo-chan is dead, Suchiro sighed. Well, let's hope that hanging doesn't become today's theme, Myra added. Death awaits all of us, but let's try to delay it a bit, Aito muttered. He will watch over us, and should we fail, I shall join the ancients in the pit of eternity, Akami said to mostly herself. Shisana hummed. I can't believe she'd just kill herself like that, Kira said, saddened. I know. She looks so much stronger, but this place is quite white, ain't it? Now, let us not be too hasty with the decisions, Nonomu advised. We still need to go over everything. Ah, so she speaks, Nisumu teased. Shut up, Blondie. Nonomu rolled her eyes. We can do this, guys. We have to do this. Hanako tried to lighten the mood. Yeah, we got this. We'll do it for Tsukio-senpai, Itami said, hiding the fact that he was tearing up. Yeah, we gotta burn brightly for her, Hanabi chimed in. All for one, one for all, yet one of us may have murdered her, Content reminded us. Whoever did deserves 1,000 deaths. She was pure of heart. Chikiko was seething. Now, let us get let's all get our heads about us and get rolling into the trial. Monaco let out a boisterous laugh. A dear friend of mine, despite it snowing each other on for a bit. Tsukio, I promise I'll find who did this. I promise. I love you, Tsukio. Now, before we read the trial, I want to know what you guys think. Who do you think killed Tsukio? If you've been paying attention, like, could, like, grab it. Like, you guys got any ideas on who you think the killer could be? I'm just checking my Discord in the meantime. Take another drink as well. If you want to go over it, I did put the link to the fic in the description. What else can I check? Okay, something's still bitching at me. I'm not sure what the hell it is. Okay, it's just my chat. Okay. It's like, what's bitching at me? I might just continue on, and like as the trial progresses, like you can say your theories. I already know the killer because I've read through this a few times. But before I knew the killer, I'm trying to remember what my guess was. I think my guess was Kira, and I was like really fucking terrified because I didn't want it to be Kira because I really like Kira. A summary as to what happened. Tsukio died. They found her in the bathroom. She was strangled. They went through an investigation period. And now we're on to the trial. Chapter 4. Sorry, not 4. This isn't chapter 4. This is still the first chapter. God, I wish we were getting chapter 4. Inmates of Despero, Class Trial Part 1. The blood-curdling trial to find Tsukio's killer begins. Seiki must abandon all emotional attachment to find out just who took Tsukio away. As we stood in the courtyard, a large shed opened up at the end. We were ushered into an elevator, and I exhaled as it began its descent. This was just like the reports on Edishima's killing game. I looked at the people surrounding me. Aiko and Shikiko stood together in the corner, talking silently. Nanamu stood at the other corner, leant against a wall. She seemed far too calm. Itami was standing between Tsuchiru and Nusumu, clutching at both of their sleeves. I was surprised Nusumu would let such things slide, but he seemed to be fine with it. Cute. Mitsuhiro was in the back corner, across from Kira. He seemed to be trying hard to act nonchalant, where Kira was visibly nervous. Hanabi was fidgeting uncomfortably, and Tsuruya was putting efforts into calming her down. Mairo was standing calmly near the entrance, tapping her foot on the ground, and Akami uttered prayers under her breath next to me. Now, how was I coping with all of this? Hardly. My hands were tapping on my carton in my pocket. I was kind enough to not smoke in the elevator, despite how much I wanted to. At last, the elevator came to a loud stop and the door opened up. Inside was a garish sky blue room. Then there was the rather disrespectful display of Tsukio's portrait, with a red X spray painted over it. I felt a rage boil in my gut as I walked over to my podium. It sat between Tsukio's spray-painted X and Tsuchiru. I looked at the mohawked male, who seemed just as disgusted by the portrait as I. Monokuma would pop up on a large, almost throne-like seat. Welcome, everyone, to our very first class trial. I hope you're ready for a gratuitous explanation of the rules you obviously already know. One of you is a dirty, filthy murderer. All the rest of you inmates gotta figure out who done it. If you succeed, only the blackened will perish. If you're wrong, everyone but the blackened dies instead. Simple enough, right? Nanami nodded. Right, so we have to find out who's killed Tsukio? That should be simple enough, yes? Nisumu hummed. Well, first we need to figure out something. Something out. It's been bugging me. Myra put her hand on her hip. Are we looking at a murder or is it a suicide? It has to be a suicide. I mean, we saw her, right? Kira said, sadly. I lit a cigarette and placed it between my teeth, taking a deep drag. There's really only one way to find out now, isn't there? Well, it had to have been murder, right? Akami started. Would the bear call any of us here for a suicide? Akami added. I do believe any death warrants a trial, Nisumu interjected. The bathroom looked pretty clean if I remember right. Tsuchiru pondered aloud. That's right. Himitsu is right. There was no sign of struggle in the bathroom, I confirmed. So that means it was suicide? Hanabi asked. Who's talking? Sorry, it's my parents, I think. Nah, I don't think it was suicide, Tsuchiru hummed. Don't sit right with me, you know? Me neither. Tsukio-senpai was so strong and kind. I believe in her, Itami exclaimed. Then how did she die? Nanami questioned. Only one way to know for sure. I let out another puff of smoke. There wasn't any blood, so she couldn't have been stabbed, Kira thought. If there was a scrap, there would have been a mess, Tsuori hummed. What if she was strangled? Chisano asked. That's right. Fuck's sake, did any of you read the Monokuma file? I rubbed the bridge of my nose. She was strangled to death. If you're going to speak during the trial, know your shit. Oh, I knew. I was simply giving the others the answer. Chisano gave an innocent smile. I'll let you have your fun then. I scratched my neck, huffing a bit. Well, I think we're safe enough now to determine that it was a murder. You're splintering, Tsuoi shouted, cutting me off. We can't just write it off as a murder yet, lad. Mokuzai has been painfully obvious that she didn't just kill herself. Why do you persist? Hello. Because we can't risk all of our lives without certainty, Shinji. We understand why you don't want to accept her suicide. She was a close mucker to many of us. But we can't rule it out yet, circumstances considered. Mokuzai, I'm coming in with these facts. I'm certain she was murdered. Explain it then, lad. Please, show to me that you can prove without a shadow of a doubt that the rope wasn't used for murder, not suicide. Cut the bullshit. Well, Mokuzai, look at the rope then. See those little tears? That ain't natural, I explained. I believe those came from friction. Our hero was light, but she still had enough weight to pull strain on the rope. Her body was likely pulled up against the side of the stall, and if her killer wasn't particularly strong, it'd be a lot of rubbing on the edge. I flicked out my cigarette butt. This was a murder. I don't see any other way. I think I see it, yeah. Grand, so. Yeah, convince me. Tsuoi nodded. Nonman crossed her arms. I'm still not fully convinced. There still isn't enough to truly prove your theory. I smirked, leaning against my podium. Then let's have ourselves a chat, shall we? We have nothing to prove that she was killed by anyone else. Nanamu began. I refuse to continue until we can say for certain. Nanamu continued. Don't we have enough yet? This shit is boring, Mitsuhiro complained. I can't believe it was a suicide until we have enough to say otherwise. Do we? I mean, there wasn't even a struggle, Kira interjected. If she was killed, don't you think she'd have tried to fight? Kira finished. That's right. You're exactly right, Mujona. I looked to her. Remember when we saw her body? There was proof that she fought back. There was? Kira looked at me. Her neck. There were deep scratches in them, enough to draw blood. She was clawing at her neck, and likely the rope. I nodded gently before thinking a bit. There has to be a piece of evidence that goes along with this. I got it. When we examined her hands, Himitsu and we also found blood under her fingernails. I nodded. Yeah, so I think that proves it was murder? Suchiro smiled weakly. I would have preferred suicide as well. It means one of us has turned to murder, so it would be losing another one of us. Nope. Mitsuhiro folded his hands behind his head. Don't accept it. Me neither. Nanamu glanced at us. It's too simple for my taste. Hanabi thinks we need to look at this more, Hanabi called out. We've talked about it plenty. We've got to assume that this has the possibility of murder. Suicide is the highest logical possibility, Aito affirmed. Yet it makes so little sense for her, Chikiko pondered. Yeah, there's just no way, Itami pumped his fist into the air. In these circumstances, it isn't surprising. Nizumu pointed out. We can't just stay on this topic forever, Mairo huffed. Then why argue? Akami tilted her head. Because if we're wrong, we all die, lass, Suioi pointed out. Yeah, and I believe in dear sweet Tsukio, Naoko bolstered. Chisana hummed, smirking. Wow, would you look at that? It seems you inmates are getting disorderly. Well, I guess it can't be helped. Monokuma giggled a bit to himself. Time for me to bring back a classic, because we've got a split opinion. Monokuma would bring out a small mallet, hitting a button on his seat. I grabbed the edges of my podium as it began to rise up. I looked around and saw all the podiums were beginning to rise up in change order. We were each in 2 rows. On my side was Suchiro, Chikiko, Itami, Mairu, Suyoi, and Naoko. Facing us were Mitsuhiro, Kira, Hanabi, Aito, Nusumu, Akami, Chisana, and Nanamu. There's just no evidence that this was a murder, Nanamu started. There's plenty of evidence to say that this wasn't a suicide, I countered. She was hanging. We saw her hanging, Kira said, choking back tears. Yes, but there wasn't nothing for Kyo-chan to stand on for hanging herself, Suchiro added solemnly. It's possible you all overlooked something, Nusumu suggested. No way! I know Shinji-senpai wouldn't overlook something so important, Tommy said. Blind faith kills. Why can't you look at what is logical and see the suicide was what happened? Aito softly shook his head. Aoyoro-san was pure. There's no way she would turn to suicide. Chikiko cut back. Even the lights that glow the brightest may flicker. Depression is not always noticed, Chisana said with a frown. I spent a lot of time with her. She didn't show any signs, anything to suggest depression, I said solemnly, my hands on the podium. But if she was dragged up, wouldn't the rope, snap? Hanabi pondered aloud. As Shinji said, there was damage to the rope, Suyoi countered. He tells me there is still something missing, Akami said softly. Well, whatever's missing, we'll figure it out together, Naoko assured. But can we even trust one another? Kantan said with a devious smirk. If we only act on our own, we get nowhere. We have to rely on one another. And that's the end. The final line is literally, but that's Kaede's lie, isn't it? 2.0. So, I think we've made it fairly clear that this was a murder, I sighed, crushing the filter of my cigarette. Yes, I suppose so. Nanamu still seemed hesitant. So, now all we have to do is find out who. Who among us murdered Tsukio Ariro? Okay, now that we've reached a break in the trial, I'm gonna ask the same question. Now that we know more, who do you think killed Tsukio? Got my boyfriend's in the chat, but I don't want to I want to bring him into the call, but I don't know if he's okay with it. God, I'm looking at the next Monokuma Theater. I'm gonna have to push myself back, away from my microphone. Otherwise, it's going to be very painful for everyone involved. I push myself back. It's just painful for me. Alright, where? I guess if you come up with a theory, doing it you can say it during the trial. Up until I announce the killer, of course. Because it's like that fucking, Kermit skit where, like, something to eat that is round and orange. And then, like, he says it's an orange. It's like, no, you didn't guess it right. I told you the answer. I don't remember how it exactly went. It was like a Sesame Street thing. Anyway. Summary. In the trial of life or death, Shinji sheds light upon the culprit who ended the life of Tsukio Ariro. 16 becomes 14, and the inmates begin to doubt one another. Alright, I'm gonna move back. Just because of this Monokuma theater. Okay. Ah! Okay, that's it. It's just screaming. I'm gonna alert my whole house. We know now that Tsukio was murdered, but now we are at the hard part. So, I began, we get to the hard part of all this. Now we must accuse one another of murder. Fun, Maru sighed. Well, it isn't my fault one of you couldn't keep your bloodlust to yourselves. Nusumu rolled his eyes. Let's get to the bottom of this. Nanamu nodded curtly. We don't have all day. Is the oven going off? I think it is. Oh well. Aren't we stuck now? It could be anyone, Tsuchiru said. Not me, I'm telling you. I didn't do it, Kira added. She died in the girls' bathroom. Couldn't be a guy, right? Nusumu pondered. I don't think there is any rule stating otherwise. Nanamu hummed. I don't like it, but I think I might have to lie a bit if we're going to progress this at all. Aren't we stuck now? It could be anyone. Not me, I'm telling you. I didn't do it. She died in the girls' bathroom. Couldn't be a guy, right? Gotta bend the rules. That's not entirely true, I started, crossing my arms. What do you mean? Kira tilted her head. Monokuma tilted his head to the side as well. Last night, I was going to the bathroom. I was tired, so I almost walked into the women's restroom. Monokuma told me and told me that I wasn't allowed in the girls' bathroom. Let's hope this lie pays off. Really now? And how come that isn't an official rule yet? Nanamu asked with a raised brow. That's easy to answer. The four options are Monokuma is an asshole, Monokuma was waiting for us to all know about it, Monokuma forgot to tell us, and the real question is, where can Chisana go? That's because Monokuma is an asshole, I said confidently. Okay, that didn't work. Gonna think I'm full of shit now. Monokuma was waiting for us to all know about it. I think it may be because Monokuma wanted us to all know about this rule before it's made official, I said, side-glancing on Akuma. I really put my neck on the line here. If Monokuma doesn't play bold, then the spotlight is on me. Boop, 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 boop. He's right. Boys are not allowed to go into the girls' bathroom and vice versa. The same goes for any gendered room, Monokuma said, doing me a solid. Wow, rude, Chisana muttered. Way to forget about someone. Don't you worry, I have prepared for you your own private facilities. I'm down with the clown. Monokuma giggled. Alright, so this proves that it has to be a girl, I affirmed. I have my suspicions on who it could be anyway. Any of the guys here would either be strong enough to pull her without damaging the rope, or too weak to pull her at all. So, that just means we gotta find out who? Naoko sighed, rubbing her neck. I believe I have a few suspects in mind, Nanamu began. So, she was pulled up with a rope. Which means, Nanamu began, which means the assailant will need upper body strength, Nanamu continued. So I think we can rule out Enomoto-san, she finished. Yes, I agree, said Akami. May I suggest Kumagai as a suspect? Akami continued. That ain't right, I yelled. That is impossible, I explained curtly. And just why not? Akami questioned. Because Kumagai and I were training together during the time of the murder, Mairo affirmed. You could easily be covering each other, no? Akami hummed. An accomplice in this situation isn't too odd, after all. There has to be something I can use to counter this. I got it. No, that doesn't sound right. Mokuzoi can corroborate their story, right? I glanced at the Irishman. Tsugai nodded. Saw them training around that time. But what about... Akami was soon interrupted by Monokuma. Oh, shut up, the bear yelled. Only the blackened may be freed. Any accomplices will die with a lot of you. So, Jukazai, Mokuzai, did you two help Kumagai kill Ariro-san? I asked pointedly. No. Sugiyue shook his head. Negative, affirmed Mairo. Then that clears my chan and now-chan. We're getting there, more and more, Tsuchiru chuckled. So, what next? Well, we gotta keep discussing this. We need to eliminate as many possible suspects as possible. Possibly. I huffed, snuffing out another cigarette. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be right back. How do I mute this? How do I mute my mic? Okay, I can't. Never mind. Where were we? Where the hell were we? It's like, can you help? And like, now I've lost my place. So wait, I don't know if I'm just an idiot, Tsuchiru began. But where the fuck did the rope come from? Tsuchiru asked. I think someone may have brought it with them, Kira began. That ain't right. Sorry, Majona, but the rope is from here. Right, Kyron? I looked to the pyro. Eh? Oh, yeah. Hanabi found the rope while looking for matches. It has to be the same rope. She nodded rapidly. I can back this up, too, with this. I'm not sure what I have to do with this. Iroh fired his brows. Fuck am I doing? I got this. I went to check myself, and one of the bundles of rope went missing. So it's safe to say that's where the rope was from. I nodded. That doesn't help us much, though, Kira sighed. Anyone can go to the storage room, right? Yeah, but we're piecing this crime together, one by one. I smirked. So, who doesn't have an alibi? Mitsumu hummed. Myself, Kaiban-san, Mushona-san, Kamigise-san. Nonmu lasted off. No! I have an alibi, Kira called out. She actually does have one. I'll need to help her out with this one. I have an alibi, Kira started. Do you now? Mitsuhiro grinned. Yeah, I have an airtight alibi, Kira threw back. Well, what is it? Mitsumu cocked a brow. Someone was ringing my doorbell all night. I didn't answer because I was comfy. Kira huffed. Sounds fake, Mitsuhiro smirked. That ain't right. Kanton quit the bullshit. I huffed. Whatever could you be referring to? Mitsuhiro smirked. You told me about your little prank. Ringing Mujuno's doorbell all morning? I shot him a look. You little shit! Kira yelled. It's not her. It was her fault that she didn't get up. Hell, maybe she wasn't there at all. He grinned. No, I don't think that's right. I think I know why she couldn't move from her bed last night. Prepare for one of the most bullshit minigames in Danganronpa. Actually, I don't mind a lot of the Hangman's Gambit, but, like, yeah, it's not that great. All the pieces are in place. Mujona, please be honest. I looked her dead in the eyes. Do you, by any chance, suffer from sleep paralysis? She would look to the floor, awkwardly nodding. It's embarrassing, okay? I don't think we'll get much further with all of this. I know for sure who killed Ariro. There's only one person it could possibly be. Alright, this is the last opportunity to, like, this will be your last opportunity to tell me who you think the killer is. Because after this, I'm going to read out who it is. I'm just going to check my Discord while, like, that goes on. I think everything's been cleared. Yep. Everything has been... Oh, not quite. Right, I'm gonna guess that, like, no one has a guess for who the culprit is. That's fair. Like, you don't have to watch me. I'm, like, these usually self-archive. So, like, once I'm finished, it'll, like, archive itself and you can read it again at any time. But I think I'm gonna, like, charge forth into, like, accusing the culprit. You know what you did. Kaiban. I looked at her, my eyes locked on hers. How about we cut the crap, eh? She looked shocked and enraged. What? This isn't the time for jokes, Hanabi yelled at me. I know it isn't. You're not the culprit. Sorry, you're the culprit. The only one I can think of. I lit one last cigarette. No, not possible. Quit playing with fire, she yelled. This isn't funny. Nobody else knew about the rope. At least, nobody else said so. I rolled my eyes as I smoked my cigarette. But Hanabi just wanted matches. Leave her alone, she screamed. Hanabi was just grabbing matches, she yelled. There's nothing incriminating about that, Hanabi continued. She just walked into the storage room, grabbed some matches, and happened to notice the rope. That ain't right. Sorry, Kaiban, but that isn't possible. You see, the matches are on a shelf by the storage room door. The ropes, however, are at the back. I smirked. Hanabi has amazing vision. She can see that you're an asshole, Hanabi retorted. That isn't possible. Look here. See here? That massive fucking shelf? Blocks you from seeing the rope from there. I needed to go all the way around it to even have a glimpse of the rope. Meaning, you're full of shit. Come on, let it be over now. Nuh-uh, 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 nuh to the fucking Hanabi screamed. It's clear she wasn't going to listen to reason. I'll have to back her into the corner then, make it impossible for her to refute me. You're burning up. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh. Burn in hell. Don't play with fire. Hanabi is perfection. You're sizzling out. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh. Hanabi refuses. Just wanted matches. Just wanted matches. No! How can you prove that Hanabi didn't just go in for matches? Show them then, I said, lowly. Hanabi was shaking. He's right. Show us the matches. Not who added in. If you just wanted matches, you'd have them on you, right? I said with a raised brow. Hanabi just forgot them, she stuttered. Then go get them from your cell. I'll come with you. I wasn't letting her get away. Hanabi, for once, was speechless. Well, I tilted my head. Hanabi just had so much more work to do, she said, looking down. Hanabi-senpai, how could you? Itami was shaking, tears rolling down his cheek. Let her talk. Then we can remind her how much of a monster she is, Usui said coldly. Hanabi just wants to make the world as scorched and beautiful as she is, she said, taking off her gas mask. Her entire left cheek was horribly scarred from burns. Hanabi just couldn't stay stuck in here. Tsukio-chan was right there. Originally, Hanabi was just going to try and escape, but you saw your opportunity to get out of here that was easier. Mairo nodded. Hanabi nodded, slowly. Tears ran down her cheeks in streams. So, let's talk through this from the top. Late last night, someone formulated a plan to escape from this compound. They first made a trip to the storage room, grabbing a length of rope they'll need for their escape. Making sure not to be spotted, they sneak past any of the early birds who happened to be up at this time. However, this person was not about to let the perfect opportunity slip past them. Early in the morning, Tsukio Ariro must have been planning on taking a shower before everyone else woke up. Our killer wasn't a male or Chisana, so they were easily able to slip into the bathroom with Ariro-san. Ariro-san was a short and lithe girl, so when our corporal quickly wrapped the rope around her neck, all Ariro could do was frantically claw at the rope, strangling her. I'm sorry, I'm like stuttering. In fear of getting found out, our assailant attempted to falsify a suicide. They tied a noose around Tsukio's neck and leaned her against a bathroom stall. They tossed the rope over the side into the stall, go tied around the toilet, simultaneously causing tears to form in the rope itself. Afterwards, they quickly leave the room, going to return to their room until the morning announcement. They sneak past a certain brat annoying the shit out of Mujona before slipping into their own room. They'd be sure to join everyone for breakfast, hoping to be able to plant the idea that Tsukio killed herself and get away with their crime. This was your plan, wasn't it? Hanabi Kaiban, the ultimate arsonist. Hanabi sat there, dead quiet. She was shaking violently. Well, got nothing to say for yourself? Nusumi mused. You filth! You killed Tsukio! She was the purest one here in this shithole! Chikiko growled. It's disgusting that you try to frame it as a suicide, Aito murmured. Why would you do that to her? Why Tsukio-senpai? Itami sobbed. Please, just let the punishment begin. Hanabi sighed. You heard the lady, Monokuma began. Hanabi began. Let's give it everything we've got, Monokuma continued. No, I'm sorry, everyone. Hanabi looked more serious, looking at us with her disfigured face. It's punishment time, Monokuma shouted. I don't expect you to forgive me, she'd say, sniffling as a collar attached itself to her neck. She was dragged off to a different location. I'm just gonna say right now that this execution does get pretty, innuendo-y, I guess? There's some sexual implications, so, just letting you know. Like, I might type it in the chat. There we go. Hanabi Kaiban, the ultimate arsonist, has been found guilty. Preparing execution. Hanabi Kaiban would come to, tied to a giant red rocket. She would look to see a comically large fuse be lit by a Monokuma with a flamethrower. The massive fuse would begin to spark, quickly crawling up the rocket. Other things would begin to catch fire, causing Hanabi's face to turn red. She'd squirm as the fire got closer, and her boot had a few flames stick to it. She would be panting by the time the flame got close, her eyes closing and her mouth lolling open. Finally, as the fuse reached the rocket, she reached her limit. Her head rolled back, as did her eyes, and then the rocket took off. It would fly far into the sky, exploding. The display showed a pixelated version of Hanabi winking. I was in shock at this display. I was thankful the screen went black before bloodied crypt body parts presumably rained from the sky. I looked around at everyone to gauge their reactions. Naoko was crying on her knees. Mayoru was trying to comfort her. Akami was also trying to comfort her, oddly enough. Chisana, Nonemu, and myself were all calm. Itami had devolved into sobbing, as though he was being held by Tsuchiru. Nusumu and Mitsuhiro's facades were cracking, their sympathy showing. Chikiko and Aito had walked to the elevator, comforting each other. Kira was crying too, so I went to offer her a hug. She clung to me, sobbing into my jacket. We all lost a friend today, but we'd also lost something else. Trust. I could tell we were tentative of when the next murder would happen. No words were exchanged as we entered the elevator. No words were exchanged as we left the courtyard. No words were exchanged as I slumped into my cell, going to cry alone in my bed. And that's the first chapter. Now, two more things before I end the stream. Once more, I'm going to say the link to the fic should be in the description of this video, or the live stream. I'm hoping it is. If not, when this video, becomes archived, it will, show up in the description, hopefully. And I really want you to, follow it? What do you do on AO3? I think you bookmark things and follow the users. So, the writer is, Red Baroness on, Archive of Our Own. And one more thing. I'm trying to remember what was the other thing I was going to say. There was something else I was going to say. I don't remember it now. Yeah, I can't remember the other thing I was going to say. I'm sorry. So, that will end the stream, and I hope you all had an enjoyable time, and I will see you next time.